Hi everybody, my name is Stacy and I'm with Allison's Pantry, and tonight I'm going to share with you some ideas for your Italian cooking. We're going to discuss a few of our items that we have that'll make your cooking amazing, and I think you'll be really excited. The first thing we're going to talk about is the risotto flatbread. It's gluten-free. Let me mention that again. It's gluten-free for those of you who are interested in that and need that in your lifestyle. These are 5 by 7 inch pieces of flatbread. I'm really excited to try these. I haven't had a chance to yet. They are made by this company, the Risotto company that we offer. Great products they have. We also offer pizza dough balls, pre-baked pizza crusts, and gluten-free pizza crusts. We have them kind of in and out occasionally during our catalog, so look for those. But these come out to 97 cents a piece. So they come in a box, frozen. This is your box. It's going to have 40 crusts in here, so quite a few. The price is $38.99 and you'll get those 40 crusts. It's number 1077. We're going to talk a little bit about some ideas that you can use these flatbreads for. From pizzas to wraps, to sandwiches. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with them. That's just one item we're going to talk about. Another item we're going to talk about is this pasta prima spinach and mozzarella ravioli that we offer. And it is, I have to find my number here for it. Sorry, off the top of my head. Number 1911. It's a 3.5 pound bag, comes for $17.99. This pasta is filled with ricotta, Romano, Parmesan, Monterey Jack, mozzarella, and cheddar cheese. It's amazing. And we're going to do a dish tonight called a sage and butter sauce dish with this pasta. I think you'll really like that. And then another item we're going to use is the Rosina tricolored tortellini. And I don't know if you've bought this before. I love tortellini. It's so versatile. You can use it in your pasta dishes. You can use it for salads. You can use it just a lot of different things. I've lost my train of thought. Soups. Oh, that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm actually going to teach you a tortellini and sausage soup, and we'll put that together tonight with this. This bag is a 5 pound bag. It's $21.49 for the bag. It's number 1815. I love it because it's so big that you have quite a bit that you can use for many meals, and when you need some, it's right there in your freezer. So we're going to talk about that Rosina pasta. The other items I'm going to just mention, the Jones all-natural bulk sausage. This is part of our Rosina tortellini soup. We will also mention the Flavor Pack frozen onions. If you haven't tried these, frozen onions are amazing because you don't have to cut them and they don't make you cry. You just dump them in and use them and they're great. And then we'll also use this Capri blend, the Flavor Pack American Harvest Capri blend, and that's going to be our veggie in our soup. And so we'll just get started. There's so many fun things you'll enjoy. Okay, let's get started with our first item. We're going to do the tortellini and sausage soup. I've gone ahead and browned the 1 pound of Jones bulk sausage. I've also added 2 cloves of garlic. I minced those up. And also 1 cup of the chopped Flavor Pack onions. And those are all browned and ready to add everything else to it. So what we're going to do is add the rest of our ingredients, and then we'll let it simmer. It needs to simmer about 30 minutes, so we'll simmer that while I'm doing all the other things, and then I'll come back and show you what it ends up like. But it tastes wonderful. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and put in, it calls for an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce and a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. So we're going to go ahead and add those into our can, or our pan, and then the tomato sauce. And then it also calls for 6 cups of beef broth. Now you can mix and match this. You can do the store brand. I just did that because it was faster, but you can make your own if you want. You can use our base and make your own. So each one of these packages has 4 cups in it, and you need 6. So we'll put 1.5 of those in there. And then for the seasonings, it calls for 1 teaspoon of dried basil and also 1 teaspoon of oregano. So I've put those in this little bowl. So we're gonna go ahead and empty those in there. Now our tortellini, you're gonna add those right at the very last, just long enough for the tortellini to cook. So the only thing we're putting in right now are the veggies and the spices and then the broth, and let that cook. The other thing unique that this calls for is for 2 tablespoons of herbed vinegar. Now, you may not have herbed vinegar, but it's really easy to make. So it takes, I make my own. So it's just a little bottle. I use apple cider vinegar, but you can use rice wine vinegar too, or the white wine vinegar, either one works. And you wanna put your spices down in here. So I went ahead and put some rosemary in here, and then there's some dried tomatoes, and then it's been sitting there for since right before Christmas actually is when I did this, so should be ready to go if I can get my lid to pour. And then we're going to just fill that up and put that in. Oh my heck, prepare this because I can't get it out. Oh, I put capers in there too. They're plugging up the hole, that's the deal. So we'll go ahead and put our vinegar in, 2 tablespoons of it. It smells so good. And I can give recipes for that if anyone wants it later. So we'll put that in, and then we're gonna go ahead and just let this simmer. And we'll add the tortellini when it gets closer to the time it should be done. I forgot to put my veggies in. Okay, these are the Capri veggies. You needed 3 cups of those. So we'll go ahead and put those in. Now they are frozen. I put them in frozen. It'll take a little bit for those to thaw, but it shouldn't be too long, and they should be ready to go. So I'll let that simmer. We'll get back and show you what it's like when it's finished. Okay, our tortellini soup is finished. I went ahead and put the tortellini in about 10 minutes ago. It was frozen when I put it in, and it's just perfect now. So I'm gonna go ahead and dish up a bowl, and you can see how that turned out. This would make a hearty, wonderful dinner. You could actually put it with a salad, or if you wanted you could use the flatbread pizza too if you wanted a pizza with it. That's probably a little bit much, but a salad and maybe some fresh fruit would be great. Now you could also top it with a little bit of spinach if you wanted to. I think the spinach would be great, the fresh spinach, once you stir that around in there nice and cook. And then also your Parmesan cheese, fresh grated Parmesan cheese. And there you have the tortellini and sausage soup. Okay, our next item is going to be a California chicken flatbread. I went ahead and used the Foster Farms Sriracha chicken that we have on the hot deals. It worked really good, and I just actually did it in a skillet, seared both sides, put it in the oven, and then you're just gonna go ahead, and when it cools, you're just gonna slice in some real thin slices, because you're gonna use this on this flatbread. We're gonna make like a pizza. So you get the idea. So you're gonna put it thin like that, and we'll use it for our pizza. The first thing we're gonna do for our flatbread pizza is this bread is basically cooked. You're gonna wanna heat it up when you put whatever you're gonna put on it. And then we'll go ahead and put our cheese on there first. Now you can use whatever cheese you want. This recipe calls for a pepper jack cheese, but I was actually using the hot chicken, so I didn't want to make it too spicy and too hot. So we'll go ahead and put some cheese on there with a nice little base to it. And these flatbreads have holes in one side, and then the other side is flat. And I've looked all over for directions on which side I'm supposed to cook. I'm pretty sure I want the whole side up. So experiment with it, but that's what I've been doing with it, and it works great. I couldn't find directions anywhere. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this chicken on this pizza base, on this flatbread. And you can put as much or little as you want. And then you also are going to take 3 pieces of our pre-cooked bacon, cut it up into pieces, and then some onion. You can use red or regular sweet onions. I took the sweet onions. I already had one open. And then you're gonna saute your bacon just till it's crispy and add those onions to it. And then you're going to put that on your flatbread. Now we're gonna bake this at 350 for about 10 minutes or so until our cheese melts. Then we're going to pull it out and add the remaining toppings to our flatbread. Okay, our California chicken flatbread is all finished. I put it in the oven 350 for about, it's been in there about 10 minutes. What we're going to do, I'll actually put the toppings on it before I put the plate, but what you're going to do is put on some green onions. I just cut up some green onions, the tops and the bottoms, and then I'm going to drizzle that on. And also you're going to use ranch dressing. It calls for 1/3 cup of ranch dressing, and you can put cayenne in it. You want to spice it up a little bit. Now remember, we use the sriracha chicken, so I didn't want to spice it up too terribly much. So I took some ranch dressing that I had, the Rosie's Ranch, and I added a little bit of Frank's Red Hot sauce to it. And then I also added just about a 1/4 teaspoon of, we had an old Chipotle ranch mix, and I added a little bit of that, so it gave a little bit more smoky flavor. So you're going to go ahead and just drizzle that over your flatbread according to how much you're going to want. I'm not sure what everyone likes, but in my house we like the ranch. So now the last thing it calls for is a sliced avocado. And I got my avocado, but it wasn't quite ready to slice. So I'll let you try that on your own, but it would call for a sliced avocado on there. We're gonna go ahead and put our onions on there, a little bit of green color. I bet you could throw on a couple slices of tomatoes too if you wanted those. And there is our flatbread, California flatbread. Okay, for our last item tonight, we're going to do our spinach and cheese ravioli in a garlic and sage butter sauce. And this is really simple. So ahead of time, you're going to go ahead and cook your pasta. You can see that I've already cooked our pasta. It's ready to go. We're going to just let it drain. But in the meantime, I'm making the butter sauce, and it's just 2 tablespoons of butter. You want to brown this butter, which it kind of means like it's almost burned, but not quite. It's right to that point. So on a low heat, put your butter in your saucepan, add your garlic to it, and then it's going to just brown as time goes on, just a little bit. Now it also calls for fresh sage. I just got some fresh sage, cut up a few little pieces of it, and you're going to put that into your butter sauce and let that simmer. Now our butter's getting ready. You don't want to cook it too high because it will burn quite rapidly. So we'll go ahead and get our pasta out. This is our spinach, the Prima spinach pasta that I told you about earlier. And this will, you use about an 8-ounce package, and I just put about, I don't know, a couple cups of pasta in there. I didn't want to use the whole big bag that we had. So put your pasta in there, and then you're just going to let that saute. You don't want to cook your pasta too long. You just kind of want it almost al dente so that it's a little more firm. Put that in your butter. Kind of stir it around without trying to tear your pasta. My pasta is kind of a little soft, so you're going to kind of simmer your pasta in there. Turn my heat up just a tad. So you can see how fast this is. It's in the time it takes you to cook your pasta and melt your butter, you're going to have dinner on the table. And then I would probably serve this with the flatbread. I was experimenting with the flatbread, and you can actually make a flatbread garlic bread. So you just take your flatbread, put some butter on it and sprinkle some garlic bread, put it in the oven and toast it. And it makes a great bread. It tastes kind of like a naan bread. If you like Indian bread, it tastes kind of like that. Okay, give me one more second. I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. Okay, we are almost finished. I've gone ahead and plated up a couple, and I'm going to add one more to the end here. Then you're going to drizzle a little bit of your butter sauce on top of the raviolis. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of Parmesan cheese across the top and let that melt. And there you have your spinach and cheese ravioli. Enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed what we've shared tonight, and I hope it'll help benefit you on your Italian night. Go ahead and look through our book and see all the fun things we have to offer, and enjoy.